Aries, I am here to give you a love read, and we're going to see what's coming up for you in the area of romance. It's gotten a little dim here. What's going on with the lighting? What's going on with the lighting? It all of a sudden dimmed out on me. Interesting. Is the light dimming out on you? Don't let the sun go down on me, Aries says. Okay. Maybe you feel like your happiness is heading south in matters of the heart. It's not necessarily so. All right, don't be pessimistic, man. You're the motivator, man. You're the optimist. You're the one that gets everybody going. If you're down for the count, what good is it going to do any of us, man? All right, let's check it out. Let's see what the real deal is in your love story, Aries. This is for any significant Aries placement, or if you happen to have a prominent placement in the first house. Also, if you are Libra rising, that makes you an Aries descendant, and you may find a lot of resonance with this message. Descendant sign is really important when it comes to love reads, okay? I chose like blue and red lighting because I feel like that's kind of where you're at. It's hot, it's cold, it's yes, it's no. You're involved in some kind of push-pull dynamic. It could even be with yourself, okay? You could be shadowboxing a little bit. This kind of energy coming in. But, you know, there's another side to those energies as well. You know, I think of the blue, I think of the red, I think of Shiva and Shakti, okay? The divine elements of the masculine energy and the feminine energy that are meant to merge and come into union in an act of tantric transformation, okay? So there's something here that maybe you just don't have the right view about it. Maybe it feels uncomfortable. Maybe it feels awkward, but it's actually progressive, okay? Just saying. All right, let's see what the angels have to say. We do have 8 of Pentacles in reverse, okay? I feel like you don't have a clue about how to work out a particular connection here. It's got you in the dark a little bit. This is really dark, man. I think I need to switch this up a little bit. Hold up, wait a minute. You know? Let's make this so there's actually, you know, there we go. Let there be light. Yeah, you feel like something's not working out the way you thought it would, okay? You thought it was a perfect fit, but something is just kind of like lost in translation here, I feel, Aries. Okay, let's feel out what this is. What's going on here? We're using the Angel Tarot here to get some guidance. Oh, and now it's all coming out. It's all coming out. There's a lot going on here. All right, we've got angels on the outfield here. Ooh, and at the bottom of the deck, faces of the matter, we got a devil, okay? There's some trickery. There's some subterfuge going on here, Aries. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. There's a bit of seduction, okay? And this seduction is what can lead to a downfall. So watch your step, okay? You want to be careful about any garden paths you might be tempted to walk down. You may even feel like you're being lured down this path. Maybe somebody's got you under their spell, okay? There's something you just need to be aware of here in a particular connection. The devil's in the details. Let's see what we got going on here. Get a clear view of this situation. Ooh, yeah. I mean, I feel like somewhere in this story, there's been an error in judgment. And maybe there's a desire to reverse a decision. See if you can rectify it. And, you know, maybe somebody's gone a little bit cold on you. This is sort of what's blocking the way. This could be somebody in relation to your past. This could be a Leo that's sort of holding things up here. I think somebody's being stubborn in this situation. All right. I do feel like there's something going on here. We have this 4 of Swords coming up in the crossing position. It's sort of like give it a rest. You might be giving a Leo a rest. Maybe you feel like this person's a little bit of a troublemaker. Maybe you feel like this person's a little bit of this kind of like devilish element that's operating in your situation, okay? I have to say, you know, you might have headed in a particular direction. Now you're starting to wonder, was that the right move, you know? There's something about you thought it might be good to turn back around, but now you're starting to have some of the same sort of issues you had in this connection before. You may feel like this person is hiding things from you, or they're not being completely upfront with you. You sense there's something going on, you want to call it out, but at the same time, you know how that burdened the connection in the past, and you're not so sure you would get answers anyway, because you feel like this person's a little like sleight of hand, like they're not going to be totally upfront with you. If they are doing something that they know would upset you, they're just going to like sweep it under the rug. I do feel like you sort of like flipped it up and reversed it like a game of Uno. You headed back in a particular direction because you're like, oh, I was going to get myself into this kind of a pickle heading in this direction. I should go back from where I came. But now that you go back from where you came, it's not so easy to sort of like make things get on board, I have to say. There's a certain like energy hanging over a particular connection. And it's sort of like the things that somebody suspects, but nobody's really talking about it. It's kind of an uncomfortable quality that's making it awkward to move forward in this connection, okay? Somebody here wants to know what's up. They suspect that there's some lying going on. They suspect that there's some not so good intentions in this situation. Got the Hangman here. That's Pisces energy, okay? And with that comes the Knight of Cups, okay? Again, reinforcing Pisces energy here. There's some secret, perhaps, in connection with the Pisces. Maybe somebody's ready to call it out, okay? Somebody's ready to blow the whistle on this, call something out. There's a little bit of troublemaking in your situation, I have to say. Somebody advanced romantically in a particular direction, and now they feel like they're kind of caught up at the crossroads. They feel like somebody's sort of calling things out. That puts them in an uncomfortable position. It burdens the connection. It makes it difficult to move forward. There's a recognition that there was an error in judgment back here with judgment in reverse, okay? And it's because there's no like owning up to what happened. That's what's causing the problems in this connection, okay? Somebody does not want to own up to their missteps. They recognize if they do that, it might, you know, put a little chink in the armor, so to speak. It may be a little embarrassing. Whoever this is, they really pride themselves in always being on top of things. So to have sort of like a foible is not a good look, and they don't really want to own up to this. There could be a Libra involved in this situation. Bottom of the deck, we do have the desire to move forward, though, with the Chariot here. There's also some protection on hand with Archangel Michael here. I do feel like where there is conflict, if you persevere, if you really just stay in it and work through the difficult bits, you can overcome this challenge and move things forward. There could be a Cancer involved in this situation, or there could be a mother or a baby's mother involved in this situation that's creating some kind of complication, throwing a wrench in the works and making it difficult to move a particular connection forward. Okay, let's get some more details here. For Aries, what's coming up for Aries in love and romance? Who is feeling Aries? There may be a Pisces who kind of has you hanging on the line. You know, this person may be frustrated. Maybe they feel like you kind of left them hanging, Aries. Okay. And they might be ready to sort of like blow your cover and call some stuff out because this person's bitter that you've left them hanging. This person doesn't like being sidelined. They don't like being put on the back burner. All right, got that. There is something tricky going on here, though, with the Devil. All right, we got Two of Wands. Yeah, you know, if you're worried about this, if there's a Pisces in the fray of this situation that's been causing some kind of complication, maybe you did put this person on ice. Maybe you felt this person was overstepping boundaries. You felt it wasn't appropriate. I think you acted in your wisdom in this situation, right? And I think that you will eventually gain the upper hand here. There's something where you felt like you had to protect your heart in this situation. It just didn't feel like, you know, something didn't feel right to you. It's all about your security in this situation. And, you know, If this person's trying to make things difficult for you or give you a hard time, I do see you being delivered from that, and this person's going to get caught up in their own shit, okay? So I wouldn't worry too much about that. What really needs to be addressed here, though, is that something needs to be called out. Now, if you're dealing with a situation where you feel like you made a mistake, or the person that you're involved with that you want to connect with made a mistake, but nobody's really talking about what happened there, and maybe somebody's worried about the truth coming out and their cover being blown, and so that's given some outsider in the connection, maybe a third party or something, the upper hand in the situation, because it allows them to sort of hold this over your head like, hey, you know, if you don't play by my rules, then I'm going to call you out. I'm going to make an example out of you. Naturally, the best thing to do is like beat them to the punch, man, and just call it out. Stop trying to defend yourself, you know, from what this person may or may not do. Instead, just own it. You know, humans make mistakes. They don't always get it right, okay? And there's something about this. Actually, I feel like it's that open communication and honesty that will heal what is ailed here in this connection that you're really wanting to get on the right foot. And you'll actually discover a different dimension of this person too. It allows there to be a sense of trust restored in the connection, and where you weren't sure if this other person is still feeling you or even open to the possibility, something about your candor dissolves the resistances. And this really allows you to get on the same page, and where you couldn't really feel out where a person was at, if they were willing to work through a particular connection with you, or if they wanted the same thing as you. I do feel like you getting to the heart of the matter. But there is something here about you got to beat somebody to the punch, because I do feel like almost like this, it's got vibes of almost like extortion kind of energy. Like somebody feels like they have something on you. And so they feel like they're in a power position over your destiny. Like this person's trying to be a bit of a dharma dealer in a way. It's like, who are you? Who are you to make judgments about my moves and what I do? You're not even like really involved in this situation. This could be somebody who's an outsider in your situation. It could be a mother, okay? It could be a baby's mama. It could be somebody that you used to be involved with. And with that, we got the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, coming in with the High Priestess. That's that Piscean energy. So this person could have a strong Pisces placement. They could have a strong Taurus placement. They could be earth, water. Could be Cancerian energy as well. We did have Cancer energy come out pretty strongly. Could have strong Capricorn placement with that Devil. All right. So these are just some different characters who could be involved in this situation. Whenever this person is threatening, okay, whatever stronghold they think they got, like you're going to have success overcoming this. This person's just really tooting their own horn, okay? And they're trying to get people to follow their lead, all right? They want you to follow their lead. And really what's at the heart of it is that they're hoping they can sway you away from where you're heading, right? Because they want you to sing to a different tune, I have to say. They're wanting you to be loyal to them. They think that your allegiance should be to them. In fact, I do think that you're going to hear from this person. I think this person will be in communication with you. And I don't know why, but there's just sort of this vibe. Like you feel like this person just blows smoke up your ass. Right? You do. You do. I think you sense that everything this person says, there's like subtext to it. There's some kind of manipulative energy in play in this situation. I'm telling you, this person's going to get caught up if you just take the lead and just like own up to it. You know, people make mistakes. If you made a mistake, like own up to it. If you have questions and you have doubts because maybe, you know, somebody, you know, a particular high priestess whispered something in your ear about what was going on with the object of your affection, or they're alluding to something, and you feel like you're being a little manipulated, or like there's secrets being held in your situation and you don't know what's going on, beat it to the punch. Just be vulnerable. Put it out there. okay? Because then you're going to get the truth straight from the horse's mouth, all right? Instead of like this person who's trying to lead a horse to water that, you know, there's nothing to quench anybody's thirst in that direction. Yes. And again, we have 9 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. There's 2 people here who have been through a lot in a particular connection. They've had to fend off a lot. They've had to fend off a lot of outside interference. And there's 2 people here who are meant to really see success on the other side of all the challenges they faced in this connection. But it does require that, you know, the energy elevates, because something in this situation feels like real petty and it's immature. There's a need to kind of like step up to the plate, own your part, you know. The person you're dealing with should own their part too. There should be open communication, and there should be a way to sort through what's going on here, all right? Somebody really feels like something happened back there that wasn't right. It could be you, Aries. It could be the person that you're wanting to, you know, work things out with. I think it needs to be called out before somebody else calls it out and thereby takes over your story and runs the narrative. This is what's coming through, all right? Give me some more details about what's going on here for Aries in this situation. Give me some more details. What's going on for Aries in this situation? I think your intuition is firing off in this situation. And I think you're right. I do see if you, you know, if you follow the track that is being laid out here, you will have that new beginning you want. You will have this Ace of Cups. There's something that will come to fruition in the summer. There'll be some new beginning in love. And I do feel like whoever you're dealing with will be able to find a way to forgive any missteps, or maybe even, you know, find your forgiveness if they have to own up to things that they've done. I do feel like this is really about you each independently owning the role you played in a situation, taking personal responsibility, and having the ability to actually communicate about what you're feeling here, instead of just assuming the other person's going to, like, you know, intuit it. Read your mind, figure it out. Like, something needs to come up and out before somebody else brings it up and out. And that makes a really messy dynamic in this situation. But it looks like there can be rejuvenation here, all right? And it also looks like there can be forgiveness, right? An opportunity to get something on the right foot. Yeah, right now we got a King of Pentacles in reverse. So you may have been dealing with an earth sign energy that wasn't moving correctly. For some of you, this is an ex. This is somebody that you dealt with before. Maybe they recognized you wanted to head in a certain direction. They felt jealous about that. They felt bitter about that. And so they got a little bit vengeful. They've been playing some games, okay, I have to say. Earth sign energy really strongly. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Right? This person's been actively causing disharmony in your connections. They've been stirring up problems. They've been causing issues, and they've really angered some people. All right. So where you feel like you're dealing with nonstop resistance, arguments, fallout, you can look to this person. They have their hand in it. Okay. They're at the root of the problem. They're bitter that you're not committing to them. They're bitter that you're not choosing to invest in them. And it's causing a lot of disruption in your situation. And see, this is the thing, is you decided, you know what? I don't want to move in that direction. You got very clear. You made some decisive choice here. I see it with the King of Swords, air sign energy. You could be a Libra rising. This could be speaking really strongly to you. This is you making like an executive decision. You had to just put your head over your heart. You had to look at things clearly. You realized in the past you got a little clouded by the passions, okay? And that made you sort of like throw caution to the wind, throw reason out the window. And it ended up being like a real mess to untangle. I feel like you got really decisive with something. You got very clear about the action you needed to take, where you wanted to head. And this is actually what's going to prevent you from experiencing a major tower moment, right? Something can be preserved where you want it to be preserved, where you want a connection to heal, where you want to have a new beginning, where you want to have some kind of rejuvenation, you absolutely can. But it does require that you don't just align with your truth and the awareness of your truth, but where you need answers, that you also communicate about that. Open up communication and ask for the answers you need. Or if somebody has questions of you, that you're forthright and you come clean. Because I really see this being the energy of Frogorock, the sword of truth, the answerer. They call Frogorock the sword of truth, the answerer, because whoever holds the hilt of Frogorock and points it at the person they want answers from must answer. That is the power of the sword. But the sword can only have that power if you don't just internalize it. It can't just be this sort of like intuitive knowing. It has to actually be communicated. You have to pull the sword from its sheath and point it at the person that you have a question for before you can actually move beyond that, okay? And that's what will allow things to move beyond this place of just sort of like muddling it through. I feel like somebody here is too internalized. All the communication is happening internalized, and they're trying to like feel it out. They're trying to figure it out. And it's got this vibe of like, you know, the mystery machine, you know, you're like Scooby-Doo on an adventure trying to figure out where's the cookies. You know, you're trying to find those Scooby snacks. You're trying to pick up the scent of the trail. You're trying to resolve like some who done it, who's at fault here. And meanwhile, you're just sort of like running around in circles here in your mind, 22:22 on the clock. You can't bring a connection together like that. You just can't. There needs to be like a give and take. There needs to be a communication that goes beyond just the communication you have with yourself when you're sitting alone, you know, trying to sort things out. You need to actually communicate with that person that maybe has some answers for you that you're afraid to hear. But that's the thing, right? That's the thing with love. There's no safe spaces. You have to be willing to take that risk, to be vulnerable. And let's say you hear what you don't want to hear. Well, at least there's freedom in that, right? Then you don't have to sit and stew over it anymore. Or maybe you have something that you need to like come up and out with. Maybe you have something you need to confess. At least you don't need to be burdened by it anymore. You don't realize how much energy that is just draining you of by having to hold something in. Once you release it, it no longer has power over you. And I also feel like some other character that's connected to your story, maybe somebody who knows what's been going on, you know, that maybe holds it over your head and threatens, you know, threatens. It's got almost like bargaining chip energy. I don't like it. It's a really icky, like manipulative sort of energy. It's like this person's threatening to out you if you don't dance to their tune, if you don't follow their lead. And this is somebody who's bitter. It's like got pick me energy. This person wasn't picked. They got pick me energy. It's like a manipulative energy, I have to say, okay? You may find this person to be very immature, all right? That's a little bit of a clue about who you may be dealing with there, all right? But I do feel like if you do this, if you just communicate and you let your passion be seen too, all right? This isn't about just having a cold, matter of fact, you know, kind of conversation. Like warm it up a little bit, because sometimes, especially if we feel like vulnerable or we're afraid we're going to get hurt or we're scared of the reception we're going to receive, that can make our communication come across a little cold. And then you're not going to find the warm reception you want. But if you can warm it up a little bit, provide a little illumination there, okay? Work more with that spear of Lu energy to shoot your shot, then you're cooking, okay? And I do see there's possibility to have a new beginning here. Right, let me do one more round of this. And then we'll pull out my shadow light playing cards. Anything else about this for Aries? What does Aries need to know about this romantic situation? Okay, we got quite a few characters on the board. You could be dealing with just about anybody. Okay, there you are in your energy, King of Wands. Okay, and there's that Spear of Lu. I'm telling you, this is about you taking charge. And I think where you're afraid that you might not say the right thing, it might not come out the way you hope. I actually think that what you have to deliver, if you come straight from the heart, it will be carried through with such eloquence. And I actually do feel that you will be able to give answers to somebody who maybe is really riddled with doubt in this situation. And once you sort of like cross that divide, you can get back on the same page with each other. You could be dealing with somebody named Danielle. Okay, we got Ariel here on the board. Ari, I just heard. Samuel, I'm just calling out some names as they're coming in here. Hannah, Sam, Layla, Jaleel, Jamil, Jenna, Jera, Isaac. All right, that's what I got. That's what I got, okay? I think that that's your best shot, all right? I really do, okay? One more round here, and then we'll do a cut, and I'll pull out my shadow light playing cards. Yeah, Five of Wands. I think the problem here is that there's been too many people involved in what should be between just two people. Just the two of us, that song coming through. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. You and I, not you and them over there and these people over here, okay? There's some kind of group dynamic going on here. And the problem is there's been quite a web that's been woven here. I see a spider, okay? I see a spider outside on the web here. And I feel like there's a web that's been woven here. Something's been made a lot more complicated than it actually is. And there's like flies swarming around all this shit that's been stirred up. But, you know, what's chaos for the fly is just another walk in the park for the spider, all right? So this is about you taking charge and creating what you want to see happen here. Don't put that power in somebody else's hands. I feel like if you take these actions, you're going to come out ahead, okay? You will come out ahead and you'll set the record straight. And it will protect you as long as you stand in your truth, as long as you express yourself truthfully, and you don't let other people control your narrative. It will work out for you, all right? Yes, and look at this. You'll bring things back into alignment with the Four of Wands. And there's somebody there on the other side of that that will feel that sense of like celebration with you in that. There's some kind of rectification that will happen here. And it's like peace will be restored in the situation. You won't be dealing with so much that feels unsettled, left unsaid, left undone. Okay, so this is about coming back into alignment. And look at that. On the other side, we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, so somebody here just, you know, they feel just very like self-protective in this situation. I think this person maybe really pulled their energy back as well. You could be dealing with another fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person just feels like they don't want the trouble. They don't want to be involved in any kind of drama, okay? They don't want to get roped into this. They don't want to be sucked into this. Whoever this is that you're wanting to come into alignment with here, this person is a lot like you. Ooh, it got dark there for a minute. Do you see? There's something here. There's some outside energy that wants to dim this light. And this is what you need to resist, right? You need to resist this. And the only way you can resist that is by you bringing your light forward, bringing your fire forward, okay? If something, you know, has been kept in the dark, like bring it out into the open, and then you dissolve any power these outside players feel like they have in this situation. And I do feel like that's going to create a real sense of safety that allows somebody to feel like they can finally like open up. Somebody's really keeping their emotions held inside because they don't feel like it's safe to open up in a situation. And somebody here may even be afraid to communicate because they feel like if I express what's going on with me, what I feel, or if I have questions for you, you're going to go off on me. There's going to be an argument. It's going to be problematic. It's going to lead to more trouble than it's worth. And so they just shut down. They pull their energy back. So this is the way to bring it into alignment. Let me do a cut of the deck here. What do we got? Again, Ace of Cups. I'm telling you, there is a new beginning here, summertime. There is a way to overcome what was disappointing, all right? But it does require a certain level of purification here, right? You have to be willing to sort of just like be vulnerable, express the emotions, pour the emotions out, cleanse away what happened back there, and this will destroy what has you feeling all caught up and trapped. This will put an end to this person who's been causing problems for you. They'll get caught up in the web of their own making. And it's freedom for you. Some of you may have been dealing with an Aquarius here, okay? But there you are, your energy. This starts a new chapter for you. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, okay? But you shoot your shot, you speak true, you work with that Spear of Lu energy, and it's going to open up a new chapter for you. But you got to use your will, all right? You have to be brave. You have to, you know, actually open up to the experience. And that means that there are no safe spaces, right, when it comes to love, okay? But there will be a new beginning here. And I'm not saying it's easy, okay, but you will have a little spiritual help on your side with this difficult undertaking, and great things will come of it, all right? So let's go ahead and just get a little more details. I'm going to pull out my Shadow Light playing cards. Whoever these characters are, you know, that are interfering in your situation, I think it's time to call them to the mat. I have to say, you know, don't put the power in their hands, you know. This is why secrets are no good, man. Okay, look at this. So whatever's been separated here, it can be rectified. You can bring this back together, okay? But it requires that, you know, you got to drop the defenses. This is the problem. There's too much like defensiveness here. And this is just making somebody feel in this situation like it's better to just keep moving. Like, why would I want to open up to this? It's like I get hit with nothing but a firewall. All right. Yeah. And somebody's not going to want to open up to a new beginning with that kind of energy. 33 on the clock, right? That's not going to be like fulfilling. It's not going to be rewarding. It's not going to seem like some dream come true. Okay. And in fact, the more there's these defenses put in place, the slower something goes. Okay. It's like it comes to a grinding halt. And like I said, there could be somebody here that's also actively interfering in your situation that's creating holdups, slowing things down, and it's coming across as earth sign energy very strongly. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And they're holding up this new beginning, all right? So this is really about you transforming this energy to get where you want to go, okay? Give me some more details in this situation for Aries, just to cap this off, right? I mean, it looks good. It's not always easy to sort through misunderstandings, especially if there's been missteps. It's not always easy to reveal feelings, especially when you've been dealing with a lot of combative energy or people who've been interfering in your situation, or where you have a lot of trust issues. You know, it looks like there's trust issues here. It looks like somebody doesn't feel safe opening up. You know, they feel like they'll just get shot down, or, you know, like I said, be met with like a firewall. Okay. Firewall. It makes me think of online protection. You know, you might want to like put some online protective measures in place if you're dealing with any kind of nonsense online that's become problematic. Okay. Maybe you need to up your security. Maybe you need to be more mindful of who you let in your space, even online, okay? Yeah, I mean, this is all measures you can take to balance things out and bring about healing in a situation. There is some kind of communication here, you know, somebody you're in communication with. There's somebody that you're still interacting with here that you really should be like warding against. You should be blocking this energy from having connection with you. All right, because this person is going to do nothing but give you worries, stress, anxiety. Okay, fire sign energy. It's coming through as fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in the shadow. Right, this could be somebody that at one point you viewed as a viable option. It could have been somebody you were exploring a connection with, somebody you were dating, maybe somebody you hooked up with, you know, and then you realize, oh, I jumped the gun on that. That didn't go so good back there. Okay, I think there's been a lot of harshness in this connection. There's been a lot of severity in this connection. Somebody in this connection too may be in a little bit of trouble. They may get themselves into trouble quite a bit. They're always calling on you to bail them out, you know, solve their problems for them. All right, you need to be aware of this. Okay, this person's like dead weight. They're like the third wheel, and it's just slowing everything down in this situation, right? And it's creating a lot of losses for you, I have to say. Emotional losses, financial losses, okay? Stability losses. And who do we got here? Again, Queen of Diamonds, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, in the shadow, okay? This is somebody who's got their eyes on the prize with that 10 of diamonds. They maybe are threatening, I'm going to like bring it all out in the open. Maybe they're threatening to do something online. Maybe they've been doing something online, putting up posts, vague booking, whatever. The reality is this is about an attack on your reputation, okay? It's something about this person is trying to define who you are. And they may, you know, be bitter because maybe you used to give this person like a lot of money, or you used to splash out on them, or they're used to getting certain gifts from you, advantages, luxuries, whatever. You're not doing that anymore. And this is causing the problems. And right there, we have Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, okay? So this is about realizing that this is done, dusted, balance paid in full. You need to beat them to the punch, turn the tables on them. It's a little bit of divine play, you know, call it out if you need to call it out. And that's what makes this, you know, situation turn around. Oh. And then you can like pick up, you know, something that you did want to invest in, you know, that feels like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be, with the 7 of diamonds coming up in the light there. And you can get communication going with the right person, all right, and illuminate for them what's been a mystery to them, you know, what's been going on that they're not aware of. Maybe this person doesn't even understand why you're so stressed out, why you're so burdened. There's something here, you've been trying to bear the weight of it on your own. You need to let this person in, okay? You got to let down your guard. You're too like blocked off. So how do you expect this person to even know how to find a way through, all right? These are keys to how you can get this to work. But I don't feel like a situation is going to work as long as there's this third person involved in this situation that's trying to stir things up. Because this person's whole aim is to drive a wedge between you and who you want to come into connection with. Straight up. They're rocking your stability in this situation. And you're meant to come into a place of stability. You are. There is somebody here you're meant to come into alignment with. And that's on the real. Okay? With that, we got Queen of Spades energy. So Libra risings, you know, whatever this is, I have to say very strongly, you're going to be able to work this out, okay? You are going to come into alignment with what you're meant to come into alignment with who you're meant to come into alignment with, okay? In fact, they're on it, all right? Spirit team's already on it. Something will be balanced out here that will make up for any disappointments in the past, for sure, all right? And you're going to finally be able to just free yourself of what's been burdening you for too long and preventing you from feeling a sense of just release, letting go of all that stuff. There's something you've carried for too long, okay? Some of you could be dealing with a Libra in this situation, or an air sign energy. Could be an Aquarius, could be a Gemini, but it does look like, you know, this has something to do with realizing that maybe who you thought was a soulmate actually isn't, and there's somebody else that's more aligned for you. Still see, you know, fire sign energy here. Your energy, we got air, fire, pretty strong. Earth looks like it's where the blockage is coming from. Okay, Earth is creating a blockage in this situation. And once you get that element out of the way, look what you got here. You got happiness, all right? You got alignment. You got a better ending to this story. So get on it. Stop letting this other person call the